Leadership in volleyball. Hi, I'm Victoria, a sophomore volleyball player here at Bridgewater. I've participated in athletics since I was 3, and I've played volleyball since I was in the 5th grade. Sports are to thanks for the person I am today. There is no doubt that family, friends, trainers, and coaches have all influenced me to work to be the best person I can be. An individual with compassion, trustworthiness, and humility at her forefront. One who yearns to lead with or without the title, one who hopes to stimulate personal growth in others. But I believe myself to be the greatest of motivators in my life. The results I hope for ultimately lay in my hands. I make the decision to leave impact on other lives around me. I control the ability to maintain drive for the goals I aspire. As Denning explains in The Secret Language of Leadership, deciding to be a leader is a choice we have to make on our own. No one else can do it for us. It's an internal decision to adopt a stance, an orientation towards the world, to pursue an activity for its own sake, and to set out to induce others to do likewise. So where do I go from here? I hope to inspire current and upcoming players to excel personally and athletically. I want to continue to increase the team's capabilities in terms of our win-loss record and team cohesion. I wish to leave a mark on the Bridgewater Volleyball program by instilling the values and expectations we are held accountable for. I picked these particular goals for one major reason. I've been asked by my coaches to become one of the 3 team captains in our season soon to come. It would be unreasonable to accept this role without desiring to be an effective leader for my team. I plan to achieve such a vision in multiple ways. One would be emphasizing the fact that collectiveness is a necessity. I will enforce the idea that volleyball is not an individual sport. When we put our uniforms on, we become one. We win together and with pride. As Herb Brooks states in the movie Miracle, when you pull on that jersey, you represent yourself and your teammates, and the name on the front is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back. Get that through your head. I also plan to really connect with my teammates. I hope to prove my willingness to listen and communicate with them, on and off the court. I will help them each achieve greatness and possibly develop into compelled leaders themselves. I want to encourage them to make their presence and or voices heard, to stand up for what they think before it's too late. The Holocaust Museum makes an obvious connection to this statement. The picture inserted reads, "First they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me." I'm also hoping to take classes that will educate me further on correct leadership. I'm currently reading a book about leadership that my coach has asked me to read. It's a 10-week training program, 1 chapter per week, where you can complete homework and then discuss the answers with your coaches. I think classes that I'm enrolled in the spring, like abnormal psychology, will also help. It will bring a better understanding to the brain processes and thoughts society creates today. In addition to the points I've already made, I'd like to also argue that any class I'm enrolled in will go beneficial to my leadership success. In Traits, Motives, and Characteristics of Leaders, Dubrin explains, group members prefer that their leaders be smarter than the average group member, even if the difference isn't huge. This course shed a lot of light on both Jefferson Davis and Abraham Lincoln. Through provided articles, a presentation at the Museum of the Confederacy, and a class discussion, there was one bolded trait I was able to unravel from the 2. Confidence. This quality is one I feel is required of me in order to be an exemplary leader. Pfeiffer's The Personal Qualities That Bring Influence claims, if you aren't confident about what you deserve and what you want, you will be reluctant to ask or to push, and therefore you will be less successful in obtaining money or influence compared to those who are bolder than you. When President Bushman spoke with both leadership development classes, he made a point that really stood out to me. Successful leadership depends on how much you are willing to let go of for the potential of something better. Bridgewater Volleyball goes much further than just me or just my teammates. This program is one that has existed long before we arrived here and will survive far past the current roster that lives. The traditions and values of Bridgewater Volleyball are like a family tree. Every year, leaders come and go, but the impact it makes on the lives it touches is consistent. This legacy represents the community, the alumni, our coaches, the school in general, and me. By becoming a leader that portrays all of the attributes I discussed, I will leave a mark on a long story where my efforts make up just a small portion of a chapter. But my actions will model what BCVB is all about, allowing for another passionate, tenacious girl who commits to this legacy to do the same.